It should be okay. So, hi everyone, good evening. It's a pleasure for me to have this presentation. My name is Pavol Grman, and today I'm going to talk about oxygen advantage and postural stabilization. I'm the master instructor of oxygen advantage in Slovakia, and I'm teaching this technique throughout the Slovakia, Czech Republic, or in Greece. So I'm going to share the screen with you with the presentation, and I hope you will see it correctly. Yes. Oh. Okay. I hope you can see it and it is okay for you. Thank you.
Yes.
Perfect. So what you will learn today, you will learn the secret of the diaphragm. And this will be the first part of this presentation. Then I will talk about the belly breathing, and why is it not diaphragmatic breathing, and where is the trick. And then I will talk about the main topic, and it is postural stabilization during physical activity. And in the end of the presentation, we will have practical examples. So it will be possible for you to try it, and I hope you will find it useful. So firstly, I'm going to briefly talk about diaphragm. What is the diaphragm? And the diaphragm is shaped like a parachute. It is our major breathing muscle. Hopefully you know these things. It separates stomach and chest cavities. And what is the secret of the diaphragm? What was the secret for me? That it's formed by striated muscles. And this means that we can consciously control the diaphragm. We can consciously train the diaphragm. So this is a really interesting thing. And what you have to realize is that the diaphragm has like two main functions. Okay, it has also the functions with the vomiting or sneezing or the other things, but the main functions are respiratory function and stabilization function. And with the respiratory function, I'm going to explain you three main stereotypes of breathing. Now we are looking on the respiratory function of the diaphragm from biomechanical point of view. And we have these three stereotypes of breathing. And the first one is upper thoracic breathing. And you can see this type of breathing when the person or the people are in a huge stress and they are in the stressful situation. They start to breathe here in your clavicula, and this type of breathing is the most dangerous breathing for a person, for a human being. And you can see also with the people who have a sedentary job, they have a tendency to breathe to this upper chest because it's a really simple reason. They are sitting with the computer, they put unconsciously, okay, somehow the arms up, and they somehow damage, not damage, but they influence their position of the diaphragm, and they start to breathe to the upper chest. So this is the most dangerous breathing stereotype. The second one is the middle chest breathing, and it is the most common breathing pattern you can see around among the people. And this stereotype is I would say it is not incorrect, but we have the third stereotype of breathing. It's a diaphragmatic breathing, which is really good, helpful, and the best for the people. And I would like to say the small example of the middle chest on upper chest breathing, and why it is important to realize that when you are in the stressful situation for a short period of time, it is not so harmful for you, but you have to realize and you have to be aware about the how can I say it, about the problems they could create, these stereotypes of breathing, if you take it chronically in the long period of time. The upper chest breathing and middle chest breathing is not so good, and it can cause you some problems in the long term. And when we are talking about diaphragmatic breathing, we should realize that diaphragmatic breathing is something that we should relearn during the stressful day, and we should bring our attention to our diaphragm and to use the full potential of the diaphragmatic breathing to our body. So let's say one example about syndrome of the water drop. And imagine there's a person, approximately everybody breathes in and out around 22,000 times a day. And now imagine a water drop, which falls down 22,000 times a day on the stone. In one day, nothing happens. But imagine that this water drop is falling down every day during the 1 year, and it can change the structure of the stone. The sharp stone can change, and now imagine that we have this upper chest breathing for 1 day. It's totally okay. But now, when we don't know how to stop it, and we will keep ourselves in this stereotype of breathing, we forgot to breathe with our diaphragm, then there is a high probability that we will have a problem. We will have a problem, and it has a huge and negative impact on our trapezius muscles, on the neck muscles, and the body is really intelligent, and it will send it will send us the signals that something is happening. For example, you can have a little pain here on the neck, you can feel the stiffness. But if we are not aware about the breathing biomechanics and about the about the beneficials of diaphragmatic breathing, then we are going to create a huge problem in our body. So this is just a small example on how important is to realize what is the biomechanic, what is a good biomechanical breathing, why the diaphragmatic breathing is good, and what stereotypes do we usually do or we can see among the people. And this brings me to the second topic, why people think that belly breathing is the same like diaphragmatic breathing. This is a big misunderstanding, because belly breathing is not diaphragmatic breathing. It doesn't equals to diaphragmatic breathing. And I will tell you just one example of me. When I was trying to do yogi breathing exercises, or for example, the Wim Hof method breathing exercises, I'm not saying it's bad, it's good, it's okay, but we have to know how to control it, how to do it, okay? And I did these breathing exercises every day I was not aware of diaphragmatic breathing. I was not aware of how to breathe through the front of my abdominal, from the sides or from the back. I was not using diaphragmatic breathing. So I was just pressing too much with the belly breathing, my front abdominal abdominis recti, and it led to diastasis. And you can see in this picture on the presentation on the left that this man with the beautiful six-pack has diastasis. And I did it to myself unconsciously, and it happened to me. But this is a huge mistake, that people think that belly breathing is equal to diaphragmatic breathing. It is not. And there is another risks in a long-term period of time when you are laying down or you are pressing too much while breathing to your front abdominal wall. You can create lower back pain, or even after few months or maybe some years, you can have also the hernia of disc. So it is important to realize that diaphragmatic breathing is breathing when you use the full potential of your diaphragm. And as we said in the beginning of this presentation, that the diaphragm is shaped like a parachute, that it means it's all around your body, or all around your core and trunk. So when you are using this potential, you are breathing to all the directions. So we have to be aware of this. And on the next picture, on the next image, you can see how the diaphragm is working when it is in a good function. And this leads me to the stabilization function of the diaphragm. In the previous slides, we were talking about the respiratory function of the diaphragm, and we got know 3 basic stereotypes of breathing. Now we are going to talk about stabilization, postural function of the diaphragm. And of course, as it is impossible to breathe in and out without using the diaphragm, because it's our respiratory muscle, it is also impossible, for example, to raise your hands without diaphragm stabilization. It's naturally. When you now raise your hands like me, like this, my diaphragm works. It's something what is going on unconsciously. So it's just the function. And of course, the quality of the stabilization, of my stabilization, or of your stabilization, depends on the diaphragm and pelvis position. So now I will show you the 2 main cases when the diaphragm is not working optimal. And the first thing is open scissor syndrome. This is also a common thing that this is the common problem that people have. When you are in open scissor posture, as you can see in the image, spine is extended and the pelvis is tilted forward. Diaphragm, of course, is oblique, and there is not optimal distribution of intra-abdominal pressure. And there is also no coordination of stabilizers. So you are overloading your lumbar discs and joints. But when you put yourself in optimal chest and pelvic alignment, then spine is upright, the diaphragm is horizontal, and there is an ideal intra-abdominal pressure, which leads to the greater and better postural stabilization function. And of course, it's more healthy for you and beneficial for you because the muscles are in optimal function. And as an example of this open scissor posture, I can show you on the pictures. You can see already the famous football soccer player Sterling. And you can see on the right picture that he is greeting and he's standing, and he has this open scissor syndrome. And as you can see, he brings it even to the running. And while he was running, you could easily see that there is also open scissor syndrome. So the posture is not correct and is not correct during the movement. So when you have open scissor syndrome during the rest or while you are standing, you will have probably the problem with this while moving. So there is no functional movement. And what is really funny thing or interesting, that I work with athletes, with soccer players a lot. And we can see that a lot of the players have these problems. And we know how the body works and how the muscles working between each other. And we can easily expect that this player will have the problem with hamstring, for example, muscles. And funny fact is that this player, Sterling, had injury, hamstring injury in January this year. So this kind of soccer players should compensate a lot, because if they will not compensate a huge load from the trainings and games, they will probably have a really big problem with the injuries. Okay, so this is for the open scissor syndrome. Let's talk about the second one. And the second one is hourglass problem. Hourglass is the main problem with, if you can see the six-pack and the Instagram influencers nowadays, it's a huge problem. They are tightening the front abdominis recti, and it is not functional. They have just created like tighten six-pack. They can show it for the picture, but it is not functional. Your postural control and intra-abdominal pressure is in optimal level when it looks like cylinder. As you can see on the picture, on the image or on the left, this is the optimal intra-abdominal pressure and postural control of your trunk. And what you can see on the right, there is the hourglass syndrome or problems that people usually have. Even the people who want to learn how to activate intra-abdominal pressure correctly, they have the problem with this activation. They are tightening this muscle, and it takes time to change our neurophysiology and learn intra-abdominal pressure correctly. But once when you learn it, you start to activate it in the morning or before the training, and you will get the good stabilization and strengthening of your core. And if I talk about the core, I'm talking about the real core power and postural stabilization, because for example, the modern exercise like plank or crunches are good, but they are not so good. Okay, they are not optimal, because you need to activate your core with the muscles that you can see. It's multifidus, it's transversus abdominis, and muscles of the pelvic floor and diaphragm. They have to be in optimal alignment. And also your obliques should be active, and the correct cooperation created this real core power. And only in that way you can say that you have a really strong core, when all these muscles are active and are in good coordinate cooperation. So the activation of the diaphragm muscle is not it can be easy for somebody to learn, but it depends on the person. It depends on the job or of the person. It depends on the lifestyle. So it is really individual. And we will learn how to activate correctly intra-abdominal pressure. It will help you to have better postural stabilization while rest, and then it will have an impact on your movement. And there is one sentence that Patrick McKeown said, that there is not functional movement without functional breathing, and it's true. You have to have functional breathing pattern, and then you have functional movement. So this is really important for you to activate and to learn how to activate it, and train your diaphragm. And we will start in the position from which is really natural for us, and it should be easy for all of you guys. So hopefully you will get it, and you can try it. Even you can try it from the recording, or I don't know, you can try it, for example, now. I'm going to show you oxygen. I'm going to talk to you about oxygen advantage breathe lie exercise, which you already, I hope you know it, but it is really good for people with sedentary job, or the people who are in stress. They can change the biomechanics of breathing. They can easily sit down or lay down and put the palms, place them on your sides of your belly, and just easily breathe there. Breathe in and breathe out. This is the perfect exercise for beginning. Then I will show you the neutral position. I will try to teach you localized breathing and the activation of intra-abdominal pressure while laying down. And then I will talk about breath holding exercises a little bit more, and exercises with the sport mask to put a load on the breathing muscles. So I will ask now my colleague, my brother, to help me to demonstrate these exercises. So I will, for a little bit of time, I will stop sharing the presentation. I will put my laptop here, see it correctly without a problem. So firstly, we will start with neutral position. And I will just say to my brother, okay, I'm here. Okay, this is my, my brother. And I'm going just to ask you to lay down. And you can also lay down if you're at home. If you want to try, you can lay down. And I hope you will see it correctly. Nice. This is good. Really good. So if you want to try it with you or with your clients or with anybody, you can just put a guy to lay down without any other specific like guidance. So I can see that he is laying down. He's in optimal position. I'm not sure about this because I can see that the neck is not on the optimal. So I will use this pillow and I will put it places under his head to be a little bit better, because the neck flexors are also connected with your breathing. Okay, to see me? Okay, perfect. And now I can check if there is a huge space here, because this space is not optimal alignment of the pelvis. So I want to ask him to bend his knees. Perfect. And now there is not this free space, okay? And we have optimal alignment of the diaphragm and of the pelvis. And also the hands are near to the body. Nice. This is optimal neutral position. What you can learn. Be aware of the neck and head position. Be aware of the arms. They should be relaxed, and trapezius muscles should be relaxed too. And then the diaphragm and the chest should be in one line with the belly. It's totally okay. The free space on the lower back is okay. And now we have bent our knees, so we are totally relaxed. In this position, I want from you to try localized breathing. I want that you should be aware of the breathing awareness. So I'm going to ask him to place the palms on the upper chest area, and easily start to breathe to the upper chest area. When you are trying to improve your postural stabilization, you need to be aware of any cases, any place where your breath should go. So this is really important to understand that this upper chest breathing is incorrect stereotype. Okay, you can see it only in the stressful situation or when you are overloading with the physical activity in your training, when you have sprints or high intensive trainings. You can see that athletes have this kind of breathing. And now I'm going to ask him to put the hands on the chest to breathe here. To breathe here and to be aware of this breathing. You can do the same thing at home, or you can do the same thing after with your friend. It's really easy. And of course, we know from oxygen advantage that every breath in and out should go through the nose. It's a common knowledge. Yeah. And now, after a few breaths out and breath in, it's okay that he should place the hands on the belly, but from the sides a little bit. Yes, like this. You put the hand like this, and you place it to the sides. And now I will ask him again to easily breathe in and out to the place where the hands and palms are. Perfect. And now I can see that he is trying to be aware of the breathing, where it goes. And I can see that palms or hands are moving out with inhalation, and they are moving back with the exhalation. Really nice, really nice. And as I told you in the beginning, if you want to use full potential of diaphragm, you should breathe to the front, you should breathe to the sides, and also you should learn how to breathe also to your lower back area. So place the hand there, please. Okay. And also your second from this side, you can feel the area here in your lower back, and you can easily breathe in and out here. with the palms placed in the lower back area, we are transferring, or we are informing or helping our neuromuscular, neurological ways that they should change the breathing. And it is really helpful for your brain to change the direction when you put the palms or your hands there. So it's a easier way. Nice. Okay, perfect. So this is the localized breathing. And as I told you in the beginning, I want to talk about the horeg activation of intra-abdominal pressure. And I will show you now how to do it correctly and how you can do it at home. Okay, so please, yes, put your t-shirt on. Okay, nice. So now it is the first easiest way how to learn. You have bended knees, you are in the same position. And now with the inhalation, I will place my hands here, and with the inhalation, I will feel the obliques are in my hands. They are going out, okay? And I will not tell my brother to activate intra-abdominal pressure, because I want to tell you that when you are not in activation, you can easily make a pressure here, and you are going inside. You can feel the liver here. From the other side, you can feel the stomach. Okay, it's really it's really easy to go inside. But now with this correct intra-abdominal pressure activation, with the inhale, he started to breathe through all sides of the diaphragm, and with the exhalation, I can go inside. So the pressure is still here. The pressure is here, and I can't go inside with my hand. So now I can feel that my brother has really good activation of intra-abdominal pressure. And he continues to breathe in and out through the nose with these beautiful shapes like cylinder, belly and trunk. And you can really feel that this is the real core power. This is the real core power. And this is for you as just an example that you can train your diaphragm like this, in this easiest position, which is really natural for us. You can train it. You can squeeze the diaphragm or train it like a muscle, and it will help you. It is so beneficial for the life, or for the athlete, for the movement. So this is a really good way how to do it. The next level for you, just the little bit, you can put your knees here up, and this kind of position, go down, go down, go down, go down. I'm here, wait a moment, okay. Okay, to be okay with the camera. Nice. So now put up. Okay, this is the second position when you can train. You can do it also like this. It is really natural. It is from developmental kinesiology. And breathe in and out, for example, 8 to 10 times for one set. And do it, for example, like 3 sets of this exercise. And for beginning, you will feel how it will be with your diaphragm, because it looks easy, but it's not so easy. When you do it correctly, it's like real training of your core muscle. Or if you will meet the person who has problems with the localized breathing, and he is totally out of diaphragm, and you can see there is a dysfunctional breathing pattern, it will be more problematic to create intra-abdominal pressure with this person. So, and it will be harder for this person to train it like this. So you will change it, you will feel it, you will see it, and you can manage this. Okay, thank you. So I was talking also about the, sorry, I will take, thank you for the assistance. And I was talking also about the use of oxygen advantage sport mask. And you can use it really, really well with these kind of exercises because you will just put a load to your breathing muscles, and it will be really helpful for you, and it will be the next level of your training. Okay, and I'm going to just put the presentation here. So this is the way, or those are the ways how you can improve your diaphragm, your postural stabilization with the localized breathing, with the biomechanical point of view. And you should remember that in oxygen advantage breathing technique, we have also the breath holding exercises, like simulation of high altitude training or shark feed exercises, but it should be, as you know, it is only for the healthy person. So be careful about this. But these breath holding exercises, they are creating pressure, and you can feel that the diaphragm is kicking you out to breathe in, but you are still pushing it, and it is a really hard exercise too, but it can train your diaphragm really well. So we have some exercises from biochemical point of view, from biomechanical point of view, and we have this localized breathing and activation of intra-abdominal pressure while lying down, because it is natural and the easiest way how to start with it. And when you will learn it, you can use this intra-abdominal pressure with your during the movement, during your plank, during your squat, during every movement you are doing. And what is really important is that from this training, as you could see, it will transfer your function, your stabilization function of the diaphragm to the functional movement. Okay, it will not be so easy. It's you have to work on it, but it has really huge benefits, and it's for everybody. It doesn't matter if you're an athlete or if you're just a normal person who has sedentary job, or who is I don't know, on the working on in the flower shop. It doesn't matter, because every one of us is breathing, and every one of us use the diaphragm for the respiratory function and for the stabilization function. These exercises are great also to connect them with compensation and injury prevention or pain prevention. So you will get the better sensitivity of body awareness. And it is not only about body awareness, it is also about your awareness of space and of your movement, and of the movement of the subjects around you. So it will definitely help you with the sport performance too. And it is great also training for your nervous system, because you have this now, you have this one path, one pattern, how you are breathing, how you use your diaphragm. And maybe from today, hopefully, you will change the view, and you will try something new, and it will be like stimuli for your nervous system and the training of your brain. So you will also have the higher awareness during the movement, and it's all beneficial. So from me, I hope I talk about this topic briefly, simply, and you understand the whole topic. I hope you understand that we have diaphragm, our major breathing muscle. It has respiratory function, it has stabilization function, and with respiratory function, we have three stereotypes of breathing. Two of them are not so good. One is totally incorrect. Okay, upper chest, middle chest is so-so, but the most beneficial is diaphragmatic breathing for us. And the diaphragmatic, it means you should breathe light, slow, and deep. And you can connect the word deep with the D means diaphragm. It's a good help for you to remember. And we have stabilization function, and in this case the person can be in the open scissor syndrome, or the person can have the hourglass problem, and those are the two problematics of the postural of the posture of the person. And now in the end of the presentation, you have learned how you can change your biomechanics of your breathing with the localized breathing exercise, with finding your neutral, with a good body alignment, and also with some good, really good and hard oxygen advantage breathing exercise, from which one is really easy and is really good to do. It's breathe fly exercise, when you just put your hands on the belly from the sides and you easily breathe in. And then you have the hard one. Yes, you have the hard one. It's simulation of high altitude training and activation of intra-abdominal pressure, which you can use in any other exercise or movement. And what I have the one last point for you, what is really important. The more you have stabilization of your trunk in optimal level, and you train your diaphragm, the less you have to compensate. The less you have to compensate. So for me, as a former football player, if I would knew this information 15 years ago, I would be really happy, because I had ACL injury. It was because my wrong body posture, I was overtrained and I didn't train well. And I would be really grateful, but now I'm happy that I can share this knowledge to you or to your clients, and you will share it to your athletes or or friends, and they can have these benefits from this amazing organ, like amazing muscle. Okay, amazing muscle, diaphragm. And from me, it's all. I would like to thank you for your attention. And you can find me Deva Physio Coach's YouTube channel. There are some links about the breathing, biomechanics, etc., about our things, what we are doing. And also here is the time for your questions and answers. So hopefully I have something in the chat. Yes, thank you so much, and apologies for my lateness. Okay, it's okay, it's totally okay, never mind. So if you have any questions, just unmute yourself and ask. Yeah.
Can I just ask, you did mention how you got that problem after doing Wim Hof breathing. So how would you use the exercises that you've just demonstrated there, but within the Wim Hof technique?
Mm-hmm.
Because it
Understood.
is very quick, it seems to be very quick. Your
Yes.
35 breaths, and then the breath hold. So how do you do that into pressure, holding the diaphragm when you're doing the belly breathing?
Yes. Yeah, I understand. Look, I don't do it every day. This is the first point because I was doing it every day.
Yeah.
So yeah. So during
Because
the
I do
week,
it every day. So this is where I'm thinking maybe I shouldn't be doing this every day now.
okay, you can try not
Yeah.
to do it, but never mind if whether you are doing it. It's okay because you can then, after the breathing exercise of the Wim Hof, you can do the localized breathing.
Yes.
You can calm down and you can activate your intra-abdominal pressure. For example, like 3 sets of eight times, 3 sets, and
Mm-hmm.
it will be. I think it can be okay.
Yeah.
It depends on your
I don't go too heavy with it, and I do mix it up with Oxygen Advantage. I've got the app on my phone, and I tend to do quite a lot of that, in between. So I'm not focusing on one type of breathing. So
yeah. That's
that's
good.
that's the best way to approach it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Good. Right. That was very interesting, by the way. That was very, very good.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And and I have the question, another question from Billy. As a footballer, do you think footballers run differently with the I can see why I can see with the ball or versus without the ball? Of course, of course. They run differently. There is another stereotype of running economy when you have the ball and when you try to control the ball, versus when you are just sprinting away without the ball. So definitely, yeah, I can say from my side, it's okay. Dominic, thank you very much for this great presentation. It is late here and I have to go. Yes, it is late. So I would like to thank you that you've been here, you listened me, and we could have this lovely evening together on the Zoom, and hopefully it will be helpful for you. So if you don't have any questions, okay, I think we can go asleep. So yeah. Okay, perfect. So now I stop share. Thank you. You're welcome. Thank you. Got it. Nice. Many thanks. That was very interesting. Thank you. It's great to hear. Yeah. Great to read this. Nice. That's nice. Okay. Now stop recording. Have a nice evening. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you very much, Pavol.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.